Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone have taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to the chosen and the elect. I'm Ari Azabat out of the GMS Dallas camp, and I'm going to entitle this lesson here, People Are Mentally Disturbed. All right. I was checking out some news articles, and man, things are getting very, very dark, out here in these last days. There was an article I read, and actually saw it on the news as well, with this young guy. He was a credit repair guy, very young guy. Doing very well as far as in his business and success. And then, he also, I guess, helped his lady friend, his woman, and with her business as well. So I don't know if she was helping him or whatever the case. Nonetheless, this couple here, the guy, that she's with, had a son, a child by. He was in the barber shop, sitting there getting him a trim, which is one of the things we shouldn't be doing anyway, getting lined up. And she walked in there and shot him 3 times while he in the chair, killed him on the spot. And then right before the police arrived, she unalived herself, you see. And these are the times that we're in where people are, mentally disturbed. Back in 2020, when they was, forwarding that juice, they was giving everybody that jump shot. You remember that? Now we starting to see the effects on people. They're bugging out. I also saw another article, another incident. Well, there was one in Michigan where, one of the employees killed the manager, unalived the manager. And then there was another one that I'm trying to wrap my mind around, where another couple, ended up passing away. This young man, he ended up killing his mom for insurance money. There was a Jake too. You see? So, hey, we in those times where we have to be prayed up, making sure that we fear in the Lord. All right. Every time you look up, there's something that's just wicked and darkness and vexation, towards your spirit, man. And, I just want to go ahead and get Matthew, the 24th chapter, and start from verse 12, okay? And it reads, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." And that's what's happening right now. A lot of, people are waxing cold. And when you go into that word love, it goes into the word of like brotherly love, charity, things that you would do when you do have love one for another. The way Yahweh Shai was an example, to the disciples, to teach them how to love, the chosen and the elect, and even, the ones that are just has been chosen but even fled away from the ministry, okay, has taught us how to show brotherly love towards one another. And it starts out with having faith in Yahweh Shai and keeping the commandments, because those things are good. All right. And when you go into that word cold, it goes into psycho, matter of fact, we can get it. Let's get the word love. Okay? When you go in, Salakia, let's get the word love. When you go into that word love, there we go again. It's internet tripping. All right, when you go into that word love, it's agape, affection, benevolence, goodwill, love, brotherly love, love feast, charity, charitable, all of those things. Fruits, that's a fruit of the spirit, but what we're about to get into in this word, psycho, the word code, it means psycho. And when you get into that word, to breathe, blow, cool by blowing. But when you go into that word psychopath, let's pull it up. Let me see if I can get it in the etymology. All right. When you go into that word, let's see if I can find it. Psychopath. Did I spell it right? No, Salakia. Okay. When you go into that word psycho, man, it's still not pulling it up. All right. Okay, maybe it was something I did wrong. Let's try it one more time. Okay, there it is. When you go into that word psycho, it's where's the word psychopath? Yeah, psychopath. When you go into that, it goes into your mind. Psych means mind, and then path means suffering. The minds of the people are suffering. You see, and that's why I titled this "Mentally Disturbed," because when you go into the word mental as well, that's dealing with your spirit. And when you go into that word disturbed, it goes into one of the main keyword is agitating. Your spirit is agitated by all of this wickedness and darkness that's going throughout the earth day in and day out. That's why people are waxing cold. You see, going psycho, because you have so much sin and iniquity that's being abound, which means that it's at its height. I mean, everywhere you turn, from dusk to dawn, you hearing just bad news, evils going throughout the earth. There's no fear of the Lord anywhere except throughout the men of the Lord, the prophets that's out there on the highways and byways with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and also on the videos, that's doing the heavy lifting, all right? That this word may go throughout the four corners of the earth, where you true Hebrews, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true Hebrew Israelites, are scattered, right? All right. So, we have to, continue to, fear Yahweh Shah through his death, burial, and resurrection, because he given us this little grace time, to have that brotherly love towards one another, and all this darkness that's around us, we have to continue to get built up in the spirit. You see, that's going to take studying, spending time reading, again, doing your videos, doing videos with, some of your other brothers, okay, to build each other up, because this world has grown cold. I mean, there's no love in it, man. All right. And that's why Yahweh Shah said that he said, ye are the light of the world. Okay. Reason why is because we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We have to walk that straight gate. All right. Let's grab a second Esdras real quick. Let's get second Esdras. All right. Let's get second Esdras, the 15th chapter. All right. And we're going to start from verse 14. All right. This is second Esdras 15 and 14. And it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. All right, because of all of the destruction that's going to take place. All right, and also, Ezra's here was looking at in future prophecy in the latter days. Although this was prophesied before the latter days, in the times that we are now, which shows you that there's reincarnation. Don't want to go sidetrack, but that's the regeneration that second Esdras will be here during those times, and he's saying, "Whoa, that's destruction to the world and them that dwell therein." Verse 15, and it reads, "For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." All right, and see, this is what's taking place right now in the earth, and this is that psycho mentality that everyone that's having right now. Every time you look up, it's bad news. Somebody unaliving someone, killing somebody, shootouts. Amongst Jake. And Jake becoming the worst out of the bunch. Yeah, these heathens, they were that's part of them. The part of their movies, being heathens. But Jake, Jake has become worse than them. Nobody can have fun anymore. You can't go on no Carnival cruise.
Vermont Avenue is yours. The game's not over yet. Roll the dice.
You can't do none of those things. All right. And one of the bad things about it is that our own people are tired of Jake stuff, man. Not only the heathens. I mean, you can't do anything without someone bucking up against righteousness. Even if you're not in the truth, and if you want a little bit of peace, people look at that like you done something wrong. Like you done said something that was out of line, out of order. All right, there's no love at all, no respect. And you can understand why, people are agitated. Their spirit are agitated. For number one, there's no light in these people. All right. And again, I just can't harp enough, Jake, we have become one of the worst, people walking the earth today, man. Sometimes it's vexing, to see your own people wherever you go, whether it's the gas station, the grocery store. There Jake is acting a fool, man. All right. Verse 16, and it reads, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princesses, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And you seeing this now with the Edomites, okay? They're fed up with what DJ is doing, okay? Every time you look up, DJ is making it harder and harder, for the white right wing, the good old boys, the conservatives. They thought he was gonna come in and make it easy and keep the quote unquote American dream for these Edomites alive, but that hasn't been the case. Most of them, are coming against DJ. All right, and this is the way that's gonna lead up to these things happening, where there's gonna be sedition among men. They're not gonna regard their kings or princesses, their leadership in these different countries, whether you Queen Elizabeth or whomever. All right. People are tired. Every time you look up, there's more and more wickedness, lies, darkness. Okay, people get sick. All right, and a lot of y'all, man, y'all who took that jump shot, that stuff right there has been um, on the minds of you people. And that's why I named this mentally disturbed, okay? Because your spirit, is being agitated right now, all right? And then when the prophets come with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, talking about fearing the Lord, repenting and turning back, these people get worse. They start turning into complete demons. Like you said something wrong. There's nothing wrong with, um, being safe, around your own people just because they're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to their best ability and having faith in Yahweh Shai. There's nothing wrong with that, man. And these people look at it like it's just an evil thing, not to want to have an evil eye toward your brother, having charity amongst each other. When you see one of your people walking down the street, being there for them. All right? Being friendly, man. Okay? But everything is the complete opposite, You having everybody picking up the sword now. And I'm talking about, even just regular, civilians now. You got brothers all over, just want to have something to be able to protect themselves, in self-defense, and it's just bad like that out there, and that's sad that people, looking that way to live their life, man, through this dark evil world that we're in. Okay, so the people that's in it, whether you a heathen or whether you Jake, the 2/3 Jake, all right, that's good news because the prophets, out there on the highways and byways, preaching repentance before this destruction comes, as we're reading here in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. You see? All right? And it reads, a man shall desire to go in the city and shall not be able. Right. And it's getting to that point to where, because we really hear at Jacob's trouble. We really hear, when martial law kick in, they already, got the alligator Alcatraz, quote unquote, deporting immigrants. This is an illusion, okay? To get you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in these concentration camps, all right? And this is where all these things are headed, especially with all this bad news going on, okay? Verse 18, for because of the pride of the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. It says men shall be afraid, all right? And that's how dark this place have gotten. You got these YNs out here walking around, people afraid to look at them, don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they're losing it. Mentally disturbed. You see? All right? And you women, y'all better wake up. And better yet, y'all gonna get hey, y'all got judgment coming. And I'm speaking really to you Jakes right now. You Jake women. Okay? Y'all done put the men out the house. You brag on how nice your house look because the man has to pay for it, for something that he's not living in, and then you have another man coming over there living in it. All right? Well, the times that's coming up, hey, you're going to wish you had that man. Because the scriptures here is clearly telling you, let me read that again. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed. Okay? And men shall be afraid. So if the men going to be afraid, you women are through. All right? Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And we understand that sword, today's sword is the gun. I mean, it can be a long knife or any really type of weapon. All right. And spoil their goods, meaning that they're going to take it because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's something that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, regardless if you repent or not, you going through these tribulations as well. All right. And this is why Esdras in verse 14 says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, because there's destruction that's coming to this place. All right. Let's grab Second Esdras. Stay in Second Esdras, the 5th chapter. We're going to start from verse 9. All right. And it reads, and salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and our friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. Right. You see, this is going to be taking place, because of all of the destruction that's taking place. The economy breaking down, people breaking in houses for the lack of bread. How do you think that's going to take place? Why is there a lack of bread? Why is there a famine? What's going on? That means people losing their jobs. You see, things like that, people aren't thinking about, but these are the times that we're in, and that's coming quickly and mightily than ever before. I mean, these things are it's coming quickly. All right. Verse 10, and it reads, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. All right. As a matter of fact, let's get that word. Incontinency. Let me see if I can get that in the it won't let me get it there. Let's get that. We're going to pull that word up, though. Let's get it in there. Okay. It's all right. Incontinency. Incontinence. Just take the E off and put a Y right there. Incontinency meaning the inability to control bodily functions, specifically the involuntarily discharge. Wait a minute. Whoa, hold on. Let me make sure I even spelled that right. It can also mean of lack of self-restraint. Man. So let's go back and read that again. And shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. Wow. The lack of self-restraint, and I'm particularly in sexual matters. So that's pretty much what this definition is going into. Man, the lack of self-restraint. So these things is going to be happening upon the earth and be